Now in this exercise, we're going to look at how to edit the edge of a floor slab. We're going to be adding a little balcony overlooking the pavilion's portion of this building. So we're going to toggle to level 2 floor plan. And then we're going to zoom into this edge here. We're going to put our mouse over the edge here. It's a corner wall. So we're not going to click that. So if we hit our tab key from our keyboard, we will be cycling to different items when we click. So if you look at the lower left corner of the screen, it said that edit, it's a chain of wall line. And then we hit tab again. System panel, we hit tab again and we see floor 250mm concrete. Now we're going to click, then we select the floor. Okay. The floor slab on level 2 is selected, but it's always good to check, make sure we have that item selected. So we can look at the property is the floor 250mm concrete style, and it's on level 2. So we have that item that we want selected. So what we're going to do, we're going to select, go up to the ribbon panel here and select edit boundary. Now you can see that these magenta line indicating the boundary of the floor. So we're going to create another segment of boundary here to create a cantilever balcony. So I'm going to use a sketch line method in the sketch tool. I'm going to snap to the intersection of the grid line and the edge of that floor boundary, and then just draw out 1200. And I'm going to do the same thing again. I can actually just pick this line and then copy it from this intersection to this intersection. And I'm going to break this boundary in the middle here, and I'm going to use the trim to corner command. You clean out this middle segment here, and I'm going to use an arc command, pick 2 points, and just drag a point out here. And afterward, I'm going to click on the dimension for the radius. I'm going to enter 3,500, 3.5 meters. So that'll be our radius. Then we're going to select OK. And then we change the profile of the floor slab. So if we go back to the isometric view, you will see that there's a floor slab and it's cantilever out, so we can have a balcony looking down at this pavilion area of the building. Now, to create opening in a floor slab, all you need to do is just create another closed loop profile sketch in the middle of the floor slab. So let's try to create, let's say, opening on second floor for the stair that's going from ground floor to the second floor. So we're going to toggle back to the level 2 plan, and we're going to highlight the floor slab that we previously added, and we're going to click on edit boundary. Now let's say we want to have a 2 meter by 8 meter opening in here for the stair to come up from ground floor. We can actually just sketch a line using line sketch. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to use offset, make sure that I'm not cutting into the column, so I'm going to make it 610, 2 feet from the grid line. Just going to sketch on this side of the grid line, and then I'm going to draw a line roughly around here. I'm going to offset this by about 8 meters. And then make the width about 2 meters wide. Then I'm just going to trim the corner. This will become an opening in the floor slab. So if I click finish, you can see that there's an opening in here. So if we go back to our isometric view, and we click on this floor slab, and we go to the temporary height isolate, we're just going to say isolate element. So that's our floor slab with the opening in there. Now, what happens if we have another floor opening that you want to match up on the upper level, like in level 3? We have a stair opening here. We probably need another stair opening on the level 3 floor slab so that you can get from level 2 to level 3. And what happens if you have more than 2 level, 3 level? If you have 15 level, what are you going to do? So it's probably not the best method to go to each floor slab and sketch the same stair opening profile in each floor slab, because when you update it, if it changes, you have to go through all the floor slab and update the sketch profile. One way you can minimize that kind of repetition is using reference plane and lock the profile to reference plane. So let's just take a look at that option for now, and then we look at the other command that's available to do opening on floor slab. So I'm going to toggle back to the level 2 plan. And I'm probably just going to say create reference plane. I'm going to line up with this floor slab edge, floor opening, and then click over here and do a couple more. We're going to trace this one so you can see it on all the levels. And then I'm just going to mirror these two reference plane along this grid line E so that I know where this stair opening is going to be. So we're going to have 2 stairs, one coming from this side, one coming from this side, and it's going to go up from level 1 to level 2 and from level 2 to level 3. So we need to cut through both floor levels. So if I was going to click on this level 2 floor slab again, I'm going to click on Edit Boundary and then click on the Rectangular Sketch Tools and then lock it all to the reference plane. And I go up to, and I'm going to select Finish. Okay. And I go to level 3 plan. And I'm going to try to select my floor slab again. I use the Tab key. If you keep your eyes on the lower left corner, the status box there tell me if I click, I keep pushing on my Tab key until I see 250mm concrete, which is a floor style that is being used for the floor slab. So I'm going to click now. Then I selected the floor slab on level 3. And then I go to Edit Boundary. Again, I'm going to use the Rectangular Sketch Tools and lock it all down. Now I'm going to create another rectangular boundary. Snap to the reference plane and click on all the lock symbol. Sometimes it's hidden behind another one, so make sure you look carefully and click this and lock it all down. Otherwise, next time when you move the reference plane, the floor opening will not follow you. So I'm going to click on Finish Edit Mode. Now if I go to my isometric view, I click on these 2 slab, floor slab, and use the temporary high isolate. So we're going to say isolate elements. So you can see that these floor openings are lined up together. Now if I just go back to my level 2, I'm going to close level 1 and level 3 plan for now and close the site plan. And I'm going to tile these 2 views. So I can see them together. So I can actually just go in here. I don't have to. I can just go in here, pick this reference plane and move it. You can see that the floor opening adjusts based on the location of reference plane. Now I notice actually I purposely didn't lock the profile of the floor opening on level 2, the first one I created, so it doesn't follow the changes I make on the reference plane, as you can see in here. So it is important to manage this. Now we're going to go back to level 2 again, and we're going to look at another options to create these floor opening. Now I'm going to go back into my level 2. I'm going to click on this floor slab, and I'm going to add a boundary. I'm going to remove this stair opening. I'm going to select OK, and I go back to level 3, plan, and select the floor edges and select the floor slab. Say add a boundary. I'm going to delete this floor opening as well. So I'm going to select OK. Now I'm going to go back to level 1. I'm going to create, from the architectural tab, I'm going to create a shaft opening. And I'm just going to sketch the profile of the shaft opening. And I'm going to snap to these reference plane again and lock it all down. Now we want a property. It's going to go from level 1. Top constraint is going to be the roof. And then top offset is going to be, we don't want it to cut through the roof, so we're going to say -1 meter. And then we don't want to cut into level 1 either, so we want to make sure that it's 100 above the floor level. And we're going to select, go back to select OK. You can see that the shaft object is cutting through the 2 floor slab. So if we actually go back and see if we can highlight the shaft object. So if we go to here, so we highlight the shaft opening, so we click on this, and then we can actually say edit sketch. And we can edit the profile. Now, if we actually, I think we actually did, because we lock it to the reference plane, so when we move the reference plane, the shaft object will expand with the reference plane. So this is one way of controlling shaft opening or floor opening going through multiple floor slab in a building. It's a lot simpler if you know that you need shaft opening for mechanical riser or stairwell or elevator shaft. This is a much better method for managing that type of information, so you don't have to go to each floor and then update them when things change. Okay?